Hey everyone, Nick here with the Best Buy blog. You just heard the PSR-E273 by Yamaha, the newest iteration of the entry-level PSR series. The PSR series is a bestseller for Yamaha. It has been for years and years. This is an ideal keyboard for beginners because it's affordable and it has a lot of options. So we're talking about here of a keyboard that has 61 keys that are light. They're like organ keys. They're very light to the touch. This particular keyboard has 401 sounds. That's one more sound than the predecessor, the 263. And you also get some effects. You can add reverb or modulation like chorus, for example. But the thing is that there's no internal memory, so each time you change sounds or you power off the keyboard, you'll need to remember to add those in. Still, it's a nice feature to have the possibility of using effects. The user interface has been reworked. It's a really simple interface that uses 3 buttons and a color-coded scheme to make everything easy and simple to operate. For example, when you click on the voice button or press on the voice button, you see that it's blue, and then you can read the blue information that you need to know so that you can navigate in the menus without added buttons or instructions. There's a lot of songs featured in the keyboard, and they're used for the lessons or just listening pleasure. I'll get back to the lessons in a minute. The PSR series, they're arranger keyboards. That means that on the fly, you can create accompaniments for your playing. There's a lot of different styles ranging from pop and rock to Latin, world music, jazz. Like, there's a lot of styles. And you can trigger intros, endings, variations of the accompaniment with buttons on the left side. It's a really fun activity. It's really good for your personal musicality and development, but it can be kind of an advanced mode of use for a keyboard. Well, Yamaha thankfully thought of the beginners, and they included a one-note chord function, so beginners will be able to play one single chord, or one single note rather, and the keyboard will do its best to interpret that as harmony and accompany you following that chosen harmony. But for more advanced players, you can still use the regular mode and then play a full chord, which will clearly indicate to the keyboard which harmony to use and to accompany you. It's a really fun. It's a really fun option, and I used it in the beginning of the video. The sound sample is a accompaniment that was created by the keyboard. You get some connectivity options. There's no digital out like a USB in or out, but there's still a headphone jack, and it doubles as a line output to plug into a console or a PA system. There's a sustain jack for a sustain pedal, and an auxiliary in to play along with your favorite recordings on any kind of music player. As I was saying, there's a lesson section and songs that you can learn with the keyboard, and there's a really clever method to this. It's like a 3-step method. First of all, it's the learn and listen mode, where you actually take the time to listen to a piece of music and start, to recognize where it goes and just kind of start learning it by ear. You're not expected to play or anything. You just kind of start internalizing the melody. Then the second mode, the timing mode, well, the keyboard will ask you to play with it. It doesn't matter which key you press, as long as it is in time with the melody. That way you'll learn the rhythm of the melody, and it's a good way of actually properly learning the rhythm. Then the last mode, waiting, well, the keyboard will indicate which note you're supposed to play, and then as soon as you play it, it's going to move on to the next note. So with the second mode, timing, and third mode, waiting, you'll actually be able to put together the rhythm and the notes and learn the piece of music that way. It's a really fun way to learn music. It's a good supplement to lessons, for example. And just to illustrate this mode a little bit better, I recorded an example of me trying to learn a melody on the PSR-E273. PSR-E273 is clearly aimed at beginners. It has a lot of interesting features for beginners, and there's a lot of them just to carry the keyboard for a relatively long lifespan. It'll keep people entertained and curious about the instrument. One important thing to be aware about this keyboard is that there's no touch sensitivity on the keys. That means that no matter how hard or soft you play a key, the sound will always be the same. This completely removes any sort of dynamics we can add to music, and that's a big part of music, so you have to be aware of this fact. The reason this exists is that it reduces considerably the price of the unit, and it makes music more affordable for everyone. If you're interested in models that have touch sensitivity, well, I recently reviewed the PSR-E273, which is the next model in this line, and it's basically the same keyboard with even more features and touch sensitivity. That being said, it's still a great model for beginners, it's affordable, and if you're more a casual player, let's say, this is a great model to carry around with you. You can power it with batteries, and it has built-in speakers so you can jam anywhere you want. It's easy to store, so there's a lot to like, even though there's no touch sensitivity. If you want to know more about the PSR-E273, please go read my full review on Best Buy's blog. My name is Nick. Thank you so much for watching.